Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to Southern Lightwork. I'm doing a quick reading, trying to make them a little bit quicker these days because I'm getting geared up for personal readings. I'm going to have the details in my description about how to book them, offering 30-minute readings, 45-minute readings. The differences will be just 30 minutes includes oracle, tarot, and charms, and then a 45-minute reading will include that plus a yes or no question. So I'm looking forward to doing these. I'm just going to do them for June right now. That's the current plan. That may change, but I thank you in advance for anyone that books with me. You can book with me through my email address, southernlightwork@gmail.com, or my Instagram. It's the same name, Southern Lightwork. And please just wait until I confirm that I've received your request and payment. And I'm going to take payment. All of that information will be in the description. So this is in honor of my birth month because I'm a Gemini. It is coming up in a few days. So it's not like a landmark birthday, but it's a birthday nonetheless. I'm grateful for that. I will hopefully get to see another year of life. And, you know, just for the amount of growth, the amount of changes that have happened in my life recently for my good, for my highest good. You know, our perspective is everything. Just being able to see the benefit to me, even when things are not perfect, even when things feel like burdens, like it's an opportunity to sit with the feelings that you're feeling and figure out what it is that you're supposed to get from it. That was, one of the things that happened with my first acknowledgement of an ego death. And that, like, what is it about this that I need to release or relinquish or just give over to my higher power to work out for me. So my readings are going to be, of course, you can choose different, up to 3 different topics, love included, love, your love story, I think is how I phrase it. Any shadow work that you might need to work on, career and finances, if that's something you want to know about. Also, your mental and physical health. You can pull cards on that. But, just things that we don't typically... I'm going to start shifting my readings toward those topics as well. I think we do need to know about love. We need to know about karmic stuff. But we also need a little bit more personal development, I think, to really live the lives that we're meant to live to the fullest. So that's my goal with the personal readings and probably the shift in these general readings. So with that said, I want to do a reading right now, just finding out like what the collective needs to know in Gemini season. If you are a Gemini, happy birthday in advance, or if it just passed. We are 2 days into Gemini season. If you're a May Gemini, and then just what we might need to focus on. I've been hearing a lot about protection, so I got my talisman oracle out to see if there's anything we still need to protect ourselves from. Something to keep in mind. And this is not speaking life into sorcery and that bullshit, but just like, protecting yourself from yourself is really what I care about. How do we protect ourselves from our own negative thinking, from our own self-sabotage? Because sometimes it be our own thoughts, even if we got haters. Sometimes that is imagined or it's blown out of proportion. What can I do to change the way I think so that I'm not sabotaging myself? Know what I'm saying? So I want to thank our ancestors. I want to thank Most High God I want to particularly thank the ancestors here with me right now, myself as my own ancestor, my spirit team, Archangels Michael for protection, Raphael for continued healing, acknowledgement in the act of engaging in healing work, Gabriel for the message that is going to come through. Please guard it and make sure that it is accurate, that it is helpful, that it's healing, that it doesn't tear anyone or anything down. Let's imagine ourselves in a nice, impenetrable, glowing bubble of vibranium with only what we need inside. And that anything negative that attempts to block or distort this message be redirected to be transmuted for good, for the sender and the receiver, the intended receiver. And so it is. So I'm using my Black Churchish Oracle. This is available on Etsy. If you haven't already purchased it, go check it out. I only got a few decks left before I need to send it back to the printer. I'm really pleased with the quality of these cards. They came out really well. I actually printed both my decks, this one and the Blocked Unblocked Oracle. Both available on Etsy with the same printer from China. So it took a little while. It didn't take as long as I thought, but they did come out well. So everything that happens in this reading is part of the reading. So I may be talking about the printer for somebody who's thinking about doing the same. Maybe you want to make your own deck or some other business venture. That is a confirmation for you to go ahead and do it. So let's see what, and I hope y'all don't hear my stomach, I haven't eaten yet. What is the energy for today for this Gemini season? Gemini or not? What do we need to know today, Spirit? It is Saturday, May 23rd, 2026. Okay, we've got two cards. Steward and Archangel Metatron. Okay. So 48 and 60. So already this is about your personal finances, or it may also just about like being a good steward over your money. I'm going to read from the guidebook. And Archangel Metatron. This is the ascended Enoch, Prophet Enoch. The bottom of the deck is hymnal. So this is about tradition, abandoning it or returning to it. So let's see. Reading from the guidebook that comes with the deck that I hand printed. I wrote and hand printed. The scripture for this card is, "This is the way any person is to regard us, as servants of Christ and stewards of the mysteries of God. In this case, moreover, it is required of stewards that one be found trustworthy." That's from 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 1 through 2. Depending on how this card comes out and which cards are in your spread, this card can mean that you have or will face some kind of betrayal regarding money. Uh-oh. Do you have someone around you who continually needs bailing out? A partner or child who seems to make questionable or expensive mistakes? Is someone literally stealing from you? When you see this card, you might need to look closely at your books. There could be a discrepancy or bad habit that needs addressing, but it's up to you to nip it in the bud. Okay, and Archangel Metatron. I think some people dispute whether Metatron is an archangel or not. I think of him as one. The prophet Enoch, transformed upon ascension to heaven, guides humanity as he led Moses and the Israelites out of Egypt. So there was no mention of archangels in any black church I've ever attended, aside from a brief shout out or song in scripture. Metatron is the prophet Enoch, the father of Methuselah, in angel form. Enoch's close walk with God was rewarded by allowing him to be one of only 2 humans to ascend into heaven without experiencing human death, and thus transform into one of the most powerful archangels. Metatron is a teacher, scribe, mediator between God and humanity, and thought to be responsible for sacred geometry and the recording of Akashic records, aka the Book of Life, for human beings. If this card comes out in a reading, you may be called to begin documenting something or to put some information or instructions you've already recorded to use. Your walk with God, the universe, is not a common one, and if you're dedicated, you will be rewarded as well. Keep the faith. Okay, so being guided to look out for betrayal with your money and to do something that is uncommon. Okay. Unconventional, out of the ordinary, and if you're getting this message, you know exactly what that is. You know what it is. So the hymnal at the bottom of the deck. Let the word of Christ richly dwell within you with all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs, singing with thankfulness in your hearts to God. This is from the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 16. These original worship songs, compiled in a book called a hymnal, were traditionally sung a cappella without accompanying instruments. They include standards that many Protestant denominations would learn and sing in unison as part of worship. Many Catholic churches, I'm sorry, that is not what it says. So Catholic Church could be significant for you. Many black churches have gravitated towards singing them less or simply arranging them and adapted more contemporary and charismatic gospel music in service. But there are still congregants who want to revere the old. If you pull this card, you might be a traditionalist, and you're either being called back to tradition for wisdom or being called to evolve. You may even need to balance the two. Use your discernment and the accompanying cards in your spread for your specific guidance. Okay, so we're talking about you're going to be called to deal with tradition in some way, your own, or maybe one that you come from that you haven't actually paid much attention to or really delved into. But for this to be clearly about money and taking an unconventional path, trailblazing, being an innovator. Like, your life is probably not very ordinary compared to the people around you, even the people in your own family of origin. Your life may feel very different, and it can make you feel like an outcast. It can make you feel like you don't fit in to anything or anyone around you, any group of people around you. Even your friends, if you have close friends, you may feel like you're still an oddball. It's because you're meant to. But to pay particular attention to these things, let's see what, I'm going to get some cards from What's the Vibe. Let's see what we're talking about here. So we can get an idea of what you might be called to safeguard. It may not be about money, but it probably most likely is. It feels very specific, especially with that card. What's the vibe with this steward card? Why does the collective need to worry about their money or finances right now? Why does the collective need to safeguard their finances? Gambling. Somebody may be tempted to spend a little too much. You might need to save for something. Somebody may, I hate to lean on the betrayal part, but since it came out, you may need to, I'm hearing if you got somebody else doing your bookkeeping, you might need to give it a look-see yourself. Somebody might be, what's that lady's name that took Selena out? Why am I thinking about her? I forgot her name already. But you might need to check on somebody that you have given blind trust to. Just saying, it's coming out. And what about this uncommon path? What is the uncommon path about for the collective? Okay, I hit the floor, and I can't get it. Ooh, had to bend in a very uncomfortable way. Epiphany. Self-reflection, answered questions, untapped talents. Absolutely. There's something that you know that you're good at or that you will be good at. And you're being guided to do it. These colors are similar, even though it's kind of a pinkish color. And lavender, it's a very divine color. Pinkish, purplish. Could be speaking to feminine folks right now, male or female. Could be in your feminine energy, your creative energy, your generative sacral chakra is buzzing right now. You could have an idea that you haven't even spoken about yet. Feels like this is confirmation to go ahead and make that happen. Bottom of the deck is narcissist, egotistical, opportunist, and fragile. Never pulled this card in this deck yet. See how the egg is like it's a golden egg. The illusion of being like unbreakable, stepping on the little white eggs to get to where they this crown that they probably place on their own head. You got a narcissist in your energy. So, or whether they've made their presence known or not, there's one in your energy. So beware of that. I'm not going to get too deep into that. Hopefully these tarot cards don't make me, because I don't want to. Let's get some tarot to some additional clarity on these. One more shuffle. Tell us what clarify this nightlife with steward. Why is nightlife a threat to the stewardship? Page of Swords. Something you need to say. It's a conversation you need to strike up. Even if it's not well thought out, even if you don't know exactly what you want to say yet, it's something that you have to bring up. The collective has to, you have to broach the subject, whatever it is, about money. Maybe there's somebody that you are close to that you need to discuss money with. Could be a roommate situation. Could be a partner, a romantic partner, a business partner. Something needs to be discussed. And I mean, this is a warrior on this card, so maybe you just have to be have your defenses up. I don't want to scare anybody, but it just feels like, I mean, not scare you, but I don't want to make anybody anxious about this. It can be just a conversation, but it needs to happen. What about this epiphany? And this new innovation. Okay. What is about this epiphany? This new innovation. Ten of Swords. Okay, so this is giving me, you need to bring up something new that has to do with your money, and you got to stop talking about something else. Maybe don't speak about your idea. That if you've mentioned it to somebody else, maybe this is because swords are about communication too, right? Yeah, I think maybe stop talking about your ideas to certain people, or maybe anybody right now. Self-reflection. Yeah, go within. Being called to go within. And even this card, like somebody asked me, why is it so dark? And that was my answer is just that I chose this image that is AI generated, yes. But I selected this one among many because it's like Metatron is around, but again, it may feel a little bit creepy, but it's not supposed to be. We're not supposed to fear anything or anybody, especially the deities and the angels that are here to help us. But it's about just like what's hidden, you know, the idea that there's something working on your behalf, someone working on your behalf that's hidden because they don't need to be in the forefront of your life all the time. Like you have free will, but it's like they're always there. So long drawn out explanation, but this is also about obscurity, oscuro in Spanish, like it's in the dark. It's something that needs to be withheld for now. Everybody doesn't need to know what your plans are, because this card usually shows the person with like the swords everywhere from their head to their toes, I think. So, but this one, it's like there's still a chance to survive this. It's not a complete ending, right? This is not the world card. This is minor arcana. This is shifting energy. So you don't have to keep it a secret forever. You're being guided to not say anything yet. And you know, sometimes that's just about like until it's fully formed, until it's a fully formed idea. You don't have to tell people, because what happens when you tell even some of the most well-meaning people, the folks that you know love you and care about you, people speak through their own fears and doubts. Unfortunately, even the ones that care the most about you, if they are afraid to do what you're wanting to do, or they can't imagine themselves actually doing it, they think that they're helping you by talking about what could go wrong. Helping you by, you know, stating what could possibly not work out, or maybe it's not the right time. Like they may discourage you without malice necessarily, but it's still negative. So try not to say everything right now. Bottom of the deck is the Five of Pentacles. So if you're afraid of rejection, if you're afraid of this not working out, of this being unstable, it's okay. It's okay, because this instability is probably going to go towards this narcissist instead. If you do have somebody who has been overtly trying to block you or trying to sabotage you, who is not in your corner, and they're not being quiet about it, it's another reason to keep this quiet. Don't give anybody any fuel to talk you out of something that you know is going to be a good idea, something that will be a success. Whatever that talent is that you've talked yourself out of developing. So, a talisman for you to leave with. Something that will help you with your protection. A lot of people talking about protection these days. And you know, it's just like when you get so close to the finish line, you absolutely need more protection. When you have higher status, when you have bigger accomplishments, you made more strides toward, you know, the success that you want. President of the United States and, you know, other high offices, governmental offices in other parts of the world, they have Secret Service agents or the equivalent. They have extra protection. They have extra, it's beefed up. Security is beefed up when you get closer to the finish line, when you get more money, when you get more power, when there's more eyes on you, right? Same in the spiritual world. When there's more eyes on you, it's like there's more potential for indirect and direct attack. People that just hate, people that just, I'll put that back in the deck, people that just don't want to celebrate you with you. It's unfortunate, but it's just what we deal with as humans on this plane. Yeah, so a talisman for both of these energies. Let's see. for both of these cards anyway. Let go. Goes with this hymnal, sort of. And I'm going to read the descriptions of those. And equilibrium. Okay. I like those. So, let go. This one says, like running water, everything keeps constantly changing, for sure. You've been holding onto a burden that's been slowing you down. Sometimes we know what that is. Other times we need to examine our needs and behavior. Starting a conversation with someone. Often holding on comes from a need to control. I'm also getting need to also speak up about maybe starting something new too for some of you. Often holding on comes from a need to control our life and surroundings. It gives us comfort that we can direct the circumstances and avoid a painful path. But if we let go of the illusion of control, we can find peace and enjoy the ride. Being vulnerable offers an opportunity for connection and closure. The little crab has to learn to let things go. This crab here. The flower in front of him is a delicate gift from nature to bring joy. And the talisman power is use this card when you need to let go. The burden is too heavy and your tiny claws are clutching with tremendous effort. Take a breath. On inhale, form fists with your hands and hold them as tight as you can. On exhale, open your hands, release the negative energy, and feel the powerful relief. So, since we're starting with a steward over your money, this could be you being too, I'm getting like a tightwad or too loose. So, okay, so now this is feeling like if you've been, and let me not call anybody names, if you're frugal with your money, if you are very cautious about spending and you're being guided to gamble a little bit, take a gamble, do something risque like a striptease, or if that's not your vibe, just do something out of the ordinary. You know, Vegas is known for people doing things out of the ordinary that they may not necessarily want other people to know about. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? But if you're being called to say something for the first time, to do something for the first time, to think of something for the first time with this sword's energy, you can be defensive, you can be guarded, but you still have to do it. And letting go is surrender. Surrendering to whatever comes of that. There is definitely some benefit to surrendering. Always. Might be surprised. And for equilibrium, it's time to align your intentions with your actions. You are dancing between opposite forces, and your mind is racing with ideas. The complexity of motion is important in the discovery of new methods, and when all the forces acting upon us balance each other, we are at equilibrium. Our perseverance and ability to let go coalesce in a state of harmony. Learning to accept misfortunes but having determination in the pursuit of our dreams brings confidence. The water takes whatever shape it's poured into so you can direct where the energy goes. The talisman power is harness the power of this card to direct your focus. Use it to purify energy or create a balance between body, mind, and spirit. Envision the water lifting in the air. To strengthen the belief, you can pour water from one glass to another a few times to see the visual manifestation of nature's balance. Energy flows where your focus goes. Yeah, and when you're self-reflecting, and you have epiphanies and you answer your own questions, you're tapping into your own talents, you may realize when you do this, when you're reflecting in solitude, in hermit mode even, what shape things can take when you allow yourself to just be quiet and go within. So much power in that. And I mean, this right here, this energy is behind you, this narcissism. And I mean, all of us have the capability of being narcissistic, you know, just putting ourselves first and But this definitely feels like an external energy. This feels like whoever this was is in your past. So sometimes it's what you don't see coming. Sometimes it is what is behind you. What is under the bottom of your feet. This rejection, we're giving that up. Letting go of the fear of rejection, aren't we? I think that is something that we all could benefit from. So this is your reading if you're seeing the numbers 211. I've been seeing that number a lot more lately. 321. Could be doing something outdoorsy this weekend. I was planning to go to a jazz festival, but it's been raining all week, and it's supposed to rain all weekend, and it's so ridiculous. It's like there's just a little bit of rain, and then it passes and the sun comes back out. I don't like to play those games, especially like being out at a park when it can get muddy and gross and just like, yeah, and there's a lot of people. So you may be going back on a plan that you had to go out into nature, but if you can, go ahead and do it. I'm going to find an alternative to that and still get outside, but that could be significant for you. Getting into nature, spending time in the grass, touching trees. Maybe you just did that recently. Could also be seeing 444. Any of these numbers, 4, 6, 4, 8, 6. That's a 10, 12, and 6. We'll keep it there. Hopefully this helps you, gives you clarity and confirms something that you already know. And for your highest good. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you and love you. It's from my imagination to yours.